Okay, welcome back to the channel, and we're gonna do um Iron Man today. So I don't think there's anything I want to talk about at the first part. Like, um, first we did how Hulk. We talked about how Hulk is not usually gray, and there's an editing issue. And then we did Captain America and his shield. Talked about that, but I don't think there's anything I want to talk about Iron Man in this first part. I mean, yeah, if there's like some things I want to edit in, like his outfit or something, uh, I can do that. But like, I don't think there's anything I want to initially talk about at the first page, like I usually do. Okay, so we start with Tony Stark, which sorry, I shouldn't be saying Tony Stark. It's first known in the comics Anthony Stark. That's what they first call him, and then later on in the comics, um, everybody calls him Tony Stark, and his friends, and the Avengers, and his best friend Captain America calls him Tony Stark. But what we open up on in this panel is that what is known as from the movies and in the comics, which we're showing you here, is that he's a scientist and he's inventing something to open up this vault, and he's inventing something for Vietnam, and he invented this thing to open up this vault thingy, and hold on. Okay, sorry, I said thingy. It's a magnet, and they're trying to get open this vault. And then it begins to budge open, and then he breaks it open. And then he was working on it for Vietnam, so they could use it for anything they wanted to. Okay. Okay, so now we get to this part where it talks about how, well, okay, so hold on. Look, it says Tony Stark, like I told you, but it gets to how it tells us, Tony Stark is a playboy, constantly in the company of beautiful, adoring women. And it starts to talk about how he is rich and everything. It says, he's the dreamiest thing. Well, this lady's talking, saying he's the dreamiest from rockin'. Well, we're not talking about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to read that part. Okay, and then it says, yes, Anthony Stark is both, I don't know how to pronounce that word. So sophisticated and a scientist, a millionaire, and bachelor. So that's what I was trying to tell you. He's a scientist, and it talks about how he's a millionaire and a bachelor. So let's go back to this part and talking about how he was a playboy, constantly in the company of beautiful, adoring women. And then go back to this part. As much at home in the laboratory as in high society. Okay. Okay, so now that we're done talking about Tony Stark and that he's a rich playboy, philanthropist, and he's sophisticated, and he loves adoring women, everything. I mean, he's got a great life. Now let's go to this part. Artel really has its beginning halfway around the world in a South Vietnam jungle menaced by Wang Chu. Okay, so that's who we're going to be focusing on. The Red Gorilla Tyrant. Now, Wang Chu is the bad guy. And then he starts beating up these um, military type people. Actually, you know what? It's not the military type people. It's just everybody that gets in his way. Okay, and then Wang Chu says, "Is it over? Now let us plunder the town, for none can stop the victorious Wang Chu." Okay, and then here comes Tony Stark, or Anthony Stark, Tony Stark, whatever. Okay, so Tony Stark, like I said, Tony Stark comes in, and he has these army guys with him because Wang Chu already took out some of the other army guys. So, and some of these other army guys with him, so he has protection. And then he must have heard about the Red Gorillas because it says the Red Gorillas outnumber us in heavy artillery. So he must, I don't know, he must have heard about them or whatever. So that's why he has backup. Okay, so Stark didn't know about them, I guess. I guess he just came there because he he was okay, so it says Stark, he was delivering weapons. Because it says Stark, your weapons are everything we hoped for. Okay. Okay, and then he gets booby trapped. And then okay, and then one of the Reds find him, and then he brings him to Wang Chu so he can try to get a reward. Okay, so later at the Gorilla Chief's headquarters, he finds some papers that tells him that he's a famous Yankee. And then he finds out that he has some shrapnel in his chest, or just like somewhere. And he's like, oh no, we can't operate. So he says that he has 1 week to live. Okay, Wang Chu's partner says, in a few days, shrapnel will reach his heart. Then he will die. Nothing can save him. And then Wang Chu says, bah, we can use his genius. And then Wang Chu will trick him into spending his last days on Earth working for us. Wang Chu says, we know you are an American weapons inventor. If you design powerful new weapon for me, afterwards I have surgeon save your life. And then and then um, Tony's thinking, he's like, if they could, they do it now to be sure I live longer enough to design weapons for them. And then they give him a room to where he can work on whatever he's gonna build, the Iron Man suit. And then Iron Man says, I'll build it alright, but it will be for me and purpose to keep me alive. Okay, let's skip ahead here. Okay, then he gives him this old man to help him so it'll go a lot faster. Okay, then they finish it so Iron Man can. So, sorry, I always say Iron Man. So Tony Stark can use it. Okay, and then the old man saying that Wong Chu must be kept away so Tony can use it. And then the old man says death to Wong Chu, death to the evil tyrant. Okay, then Iron Man gets in the suit. And then he gets up. And then he says, the translators have sufficient energy. Now my heart is beating. Normally the machine is keeping me alive. And then he's having a hard time standing. Okay, then he goes outside to the courtyard. And then we see Wong Chu beating up some people like he was. And then Iron Man comes and faces Wong Chu, and then he says, have you never seen an Iron Man before? And then and then he picks him up and spins him around and throws him. Okay, and then he says, guards, open fire, destroy Iron Man. And then all the bullets are, like, I don't know, like, how to say it, like, paying or, yeah, like, paying off his suit. Or, yeah, I think that's a good word, paying off his suit. And then he says, it will take more than small arm fire to penetrate my cast iron body. And then he says, get grenades, bring bazookas, quickly, you fools, quickly. And then he says, and then Iron Man says, I'll just reverse the charge on the magnetic turbo insulator. Okay, so the rats try to use bazookas on Iron Man, and then he reverses it, and then they get scared and start to run off. Wong Chu runs off to the top of an announced. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I was having trouble with my words. Okay, so Wong Chu runs up to the announce booth and he starts announcing everyone to destroy yeah, sorry. Announcing everyone to destroy Iron Man. And then Iron Man puts his flame to Wong Chu and then he blows him up. Boom. And seconds later, Iron Man has recharged his batteries, and then I have set the prisoners free, and the Reds have fled in blind panic. It's all over. Now, prisoners. Yes? Rest easy, you sacrificed your life to save mine. Have been avenged. Oh, okay. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Hold on. I just wanted to say something. Um, the comic book version is so much better than than the movie version. I mean, yeah, the movie version is good, but they don't tell you how things happen. They just say that he's a scientist, he gets rich, he's a playboy, philanthropist, yada yada. Um, they don't say how he gets his sorry, I'm messing up again. They don't say how. Hold on, I gotta get you. They don't say how he gets the shrapnel in his chest. They just say, "Oh, the 10 rings did it," and they never show the 10 rings, and they never show the Mandarin until like the third movie, and then they say, "Oh, the Mandarin was just like this dude from prison." But anyways, they just like do like this big old thing that they just never show. What I'm trying to say is the movie version just didn't do it right. Didn't do it justice. The movies are good. To, the movies are good to watch. I mean, I'm not saying like don't go watch the movies, but this is so much better. You always gotta read the comics first, and then when you're watching the movies, you can be like, oh, I know how it happened. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.